Donald Trump, what's wrong with him? Donald Trump, what's wrong with him? Some people hold this individual in high esteem as an example of a successful businessperson. How come they have achieved so little success in their own career? Does Donald Trump ever touch anything that doesn't wither and die? Whatever you call me, a Republican liberal, a rhino, or whatever else, the stripes on my zebra will remain. And the truth lies in it. Trump is running out of options for where to hide, who to deceive, frauds to pull off, and con artists to engage. His performance is enjoyable the first, second, and perhaps even third time you witness it, much like a carnival clown. When that happens, it's no longer interesting, exhausting, or worthwhile. Consider his most recent commercial endeavor. Its current stock market symbol is TMTG, which stands for Trump Media and Technology Group Corporation, known for owning Truth Social. It is a money hole located in Sarasota, Florida. The company is also making a big deal out of its upcoming subscription streaming service, TMTG Plus, which sounds suspiciously like someone trying to steal Disney Plus. Still, this is also heading toward disaster regardless of what Trump labels it.to provide some context. Donald Trump's involvement in the assault on the United States Capitol led to his ban from Twitter in January 2021. To that end, he declared his intent to launch a website with the title "From the Desk of Donald J. Trump." Presumably, the objective was to disseminate his viewpoints on various matters. However, it was shut down after only 1 month. A few months after its incorporation in February 2021, Trump Media and Technology Group made its stock market debut as Digital World Acquisition Corp. (DWAC), with an initial public offering (IPO) of 25 million shares. As it turned out, ARK Capital, a Shanghai-based firm that had been under U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) investigation for misrepresenting shell corporations, helped create DWAC. ARK Capital is famous for listing Chinese companies on American stock markets. The plot thickened immediately after that, prior to the principal banker's pledge to cut connections with China and disband Yunhong at the end of 2021. The DWAC Trump business was associated with China Yunhong Holdings. Because of their larger-than-disclosed investment in Donald Trump's endeavor, the link between Shanghai-based ARK Capital and DWAC became public knowledge at that point. In October 2021, Trump made public his creation of TMTG, a publicly traded firm, through a merger with DWAC. The idea was to build a social media platform that could compete with Twitter. In spite of concerns about the legitimacy and ethics of their backers and their association with the SEC, DWAC managed to raise hundreds of millions of dollars. Things were starting to get complicated. By the year's end, TMTG had secured $1 billion in private funding and had inked a deal with a firm named Rumble to run a portion of Truth Social and the proposed business. Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, FINRA, and the SEC have further begun their investigations. But this wasn't enough to stop TMTG from launching Truth Social in early 2022. Donald Trump soon after announced that the business was actually running at a severe loss, despite having raised all this money. A grand jury in Manhattan and the SEC both served subpoenas on Trump in an effort to learn more about his financial dealings. Then, authorities in New York sought to determine whether TMTG had broken anti-money laundering regulations by taking $8 million linked to a Russian mafia. In an $18 million settlement, Donald Trump and others admitted to the SEC that they had deceived investors and had committed fraud. Investigations, penalties, and auditor-discovered issues were just the beginning of the relentless beat. The business finally announced its first quarter 2024 results in mid-year 2024, showing a net loss of $327.6 million on revenue of less than $1 million. Given that there are supposedly just 36 people working for the organization, this is difficult to understand. If we extrapolate this loss from the first quarter to the whole year, we find that each employee stands to lose $36 million. This is based on some basic math. Given the improbability of such, who do you think is taking advantage of this situation and whose pockets is this money going? Years ago, at our high school Glee Club concert, a dear friend of mine who has since passed away sung, my darling Liza, the bucket has a hole in it." There seems to have been a lot of dubious, even illegal, dealings along the path to this massive loss with such little income. Reports in 2023 indicated that the group was under investigation for possible money laundering, which supports this theory. A relative of a former Russian government official who now leads the Russian maritime corporation Rosneft is a part owner of Paxum Bank, which the operation had taken money from to prop it up. A director of Paxum Bank personally received even more funds. The Washington Post reports that another rich investor in the firm was reportedly involved in a scheme to launder money from China, Russia, and Ukraine through the Caribbean and middlemen like Hong Kong, Belize, and the UK. Truth Social is destined for the same fate as past Donald Trump endeavors, a heap of empty promises and rumors, if we disregard the accusations of wrongdoing and the stupidity of individuals who put their money into a stock without a track record of profitable operations. Actually, TMTG is a stock for dopes, according to billionaire investor and Expedia Group chairman Barry Diller's recent interview. You know, it's just absurd. No money is coming into the business. It's a swindle, like everything else Trump has ever been a part of.